It's about to be 10. I don't have class until 2. So there's just a few things I wanted to do. I saw this star-shaped nail like on Pinterest, and I think I will be doing mine with a grayed out pink as the base, and then the stars will be a blue, and then I'll just finish it with a clear coat. And I'm going to use this tool, so it has this like little ball tip, but I got this one a long time ago for my ceramics projects, and I got it from Dollar Tree, I believe. Growing up, towards the end of middle school and the beginning of high school, I really liked to paint my nails and do the signs on them. But I think there was always something negative about femininity, and it sucks, but I definitely did feel that in middle school and high school, even though I did embrace these like feminine sides and, you know, wore girly clothing and did girly things. Part of me also did try to disconnect myself from something like that, so I also had this like mix of like feminine here and there, but also tomboyish. And I do think that it had to do with being insecure about being considered, you know, girly, annoying. And I would say that I did see these in other girls too. I think they avoided being considered girly because of reasons like those, or tried to have a more masculine approach. That's the way I perceived it, but who knows. So I did the pink. It's very subtle. And if you have worked with clay before, it can be so inconvenient to have long nails, which I do, because having all these, sometimes I will break off, but you can see that they're kind of long. If you have worked with clay before, that you know, like especially for throwing, having long nails can just cut up your pieces, tear them up as you're throwing. And I'm not so sure for other things. For sculptures, so, or it's alright, because I think I have worked with semi-longish nails, a little shorter than I have them now, and I do have ceramics today, so we'll see how that goes. But I think it'll be alright. It really depends on what you're doing with clay, I suppose. Also, there are things that are considered feminine that are not necessarily like self-care or having a skincare routine. Things like that. It's just you taking care of yourself, and it simply shouldn't be something that is avoided because, well, that's for girls. Something that I did like about K-pop or their fans, I never really got into it, but I do think that it helped girls who struggled with this, where they tried to avoid femininity or didn't so much want to approach it and approach something more masculine instead, is that K-pop artists do wear, say, rings and accessories and makeup and these things that would typically be considered feminine, but as guys, you know. So I think that this kind of helps some girls, I imagine, kind of see it differently, that there are things that don't necessarily have to be tied to something that is feminine, and realize that it's okay to do something or wear something without really giving a care about whether it's feminine or not. I have some cotton as well to clean off the tip if it gets chunky and the nail polish dries on it, but I think I'm also gonna need like a little container, maybe like a bottle cap, to put it into so I can just grab it out of there. So I'll go get that. I just got this Powerade bottle cap. I don't think they're dry enough. I think I'll just go for it. We'll see. And since I don't think I'll be able to do the stars on my right hand, since I am right-handed, I might just do like 2 or 3 stars on this side and maybe paint 1 or 2 blue on these. So I kind of did the outline. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fill it in. And you can totally do moons instead, or an initial, even a smiley face. I think it works fine with this tool. So you probably want to have, if you can get a pretty small one to do the outline better, and then one that's a little bit just bigger than that so you can pick up the paint, the nail polish. For this one, I'm just going to do an outline, so I'm not going to fill it in. So just something like that. And just do what you want. It doesn't matter if it's from, or wear what you want, even if it's something that would fall under the category of something masculine or feminine. And just do it if it's something that you think you would enjoy. And if not, try it, and then you can at least know for sure that you don't like it. For example, when purchasing shirts, I didn't really like some from the women's section because they would have this like shape that accentuated your waist, and I just didn't like how slim they would feel. So I did prefer getting, say, small or medium men's shirts instead, because they don't have that. They have a very like straight fit, and that's just more comfortable for me. Even though, yeah, sometimes towards the end of high school, I think, is when I started being okay with wearing crop tops. Yeah, but even now I still wear more so large fitting tops, not small but medium size like men's. I'm gonna do my initial because why not? And you can try to do it in either just with the look of your handwriting or a certain font. And if your nail polish, if the base is still kind of wet, don't add pressure from the tool that you're working with to do these designs, because they will leave a little indentation. So there's the white. Also, I don't know about you, but I do think that I prefer morning classes, just because from high school that's what I was used to. If I have morning classes, I can just go to class and get it done with earlier in the day, and then do work for other classes or for the class later in the day, rather than have an afternoon class. And I mean, I guess it's not bad, I have managed it before. So doing work in the morning can be nice as well, but it's just nicer to wake up and have a reason to get ready for the day earlier in the day. I uploaded my first video yesterday, but because of the processing and stuff, it didn't upload until this morning, I think. But it sucks because the app that I'm using just seems to mess up quite a bit. I have worked with it before to do videos just for friends or such, and it always messes up somehow. And for the video that I just uploaded, what happened was that this like background color that I had in like a handful of clips, it just wasn't there anymore. And then there was one corner of pearls that extended throughout more of the video than I wanted it to. So there's 4 in each corner, and then the one randomly in the following clips stayed on there. Maybe it was a mistake, that one. Maybe I did mistakenly extend it, but I don't know. It just sucks. And iMovie on iPhone and the iPad is not, it doesn't have that many features as it would on a computer, because that program, I guess, is just meant to run on a computer. This is how they turned out. I just didn't want to try and go through my closet, so I wanted to go for something that's simple and just easy to throw on, and it goes good. It looks good with the nails because it makes that blue pop. And so I think I'll go with jewelry that also is green or blue. And then for the earrings, I'll go with just regular gold hoops. And I want to add this one as well. And don't be afraid to combine like silver jewelry with gold. I think it looks fine. As long as you like it or feel comfortable in it, that's all that matters. Much for going with something simple. But I kind of like just felt like it. I honestly feel like a rock star. I think it's great, and the fact that it's just an outline just makes it a little less and not so, you know? The mosquito that flew by.
Probably gonna get my feet.
When it comes to resting, it can be tough to come to a stop or do things that may not necessarily be considered productive. It is definitely something that I am working on. Sometimes when I rest or take a nap, I feel the weight of everything else that I want or need to get done, and along get this sense of guilt. The truth is that for you to be able to fully pour yourself into what you are working on, then sometimes we do need rest. Also, taking a moment to relax may look different for you than it does for someone else. Besides, you as well may have a range of different activities you enjoy doing to slow down or reset. Came pretty early to campus so that I could get some things done for my ceramics course before my class. I'll be doing that. That way I have the clay more or less dry by tomorrow before class, so I can come in and work on my projects. You don't want to see the texture on there. So what I do is I rub it with a sponge until it's pretty much gone on both sides, or at least our professor doesn't like that. And these little ridges also can be smoothened out with a sponge. So even though you want to use a wet sponge, you do not want it to have too much water, because otherwise you would be opening up the platelets that connect the clay, and you don't want to do that. Remove that texture that's on it from the fabric that lays on the slab roller. You can also use a rib, a wooden rib or a metal one, but personally I prefer the sponge sometimes, and at least for this project. There isn't much clay to work with, since it was just the summer. There's an hour before class. I'm gonna go outside to the picnic table and have my lunch. I decided against it because there's like construction workers out there, quite a few. I thought it was dead, but this little guy landed on me. There's a lot of moths, butterflies, and bugs because we're near a hill. But yeah, pretty cute. These are some glass fridge magnets, sort of a test style assignment to expose the students to cutting glass, and I really liked how mine came out, especially the transparent green olive oil looking one. So a while back, my car's driver's window fell into the door. So we're gonna go take it to a mechanic. I think what needs to be replaced is the regulator. I don't know if he can just use the same part and it still work semi-properly. But we're gonna go do that. So the glass is right there. I'm surprised it didn't break. What he's gonna do is that he's gonna take the door apart and replace the regulator with another new one that he had ordered. He said it should take about 2 to 3 hours, and I think we'll just stick around